Seek professional advice.
We want to talk a little bit about miscarriage, I think.
Yeah, what a great subject.
Yeah, really great segue as well. So at the moment, I had my 12-week scan. My 12-week scan. My wife's. Yeah. Hello. Yes.
It is your 12-week scan.
It is my 12-week scan. But
It's cold out here. Jesus. My hands are getting cold now.
Is it? Do you want some heat?
No, my hands. My hands.
I can put a
I
heater
got
there.
old man hands.
Do you want a heater there?
No.
No, you're right. You just want to complain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's not coming out enough. Now you look silly. It's on camera. Yeah. So I think we're going to try and avoid moralising or try and avoid advice about things where there's not a definitive right answer. Right?
No.
I think that's a really important thing. There's a lot of people, a lot of books, a lot of YouTubers, I think, who will tell you this is the right answer of how to do this thing, where there is clearly and self-evidently no right answer to do it. So if it's about what's the best wax to use on your car, there's an empirical right answer, right? And so you can maybe.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the type of paint, and it depends on the conditions. So there's different wax for summer and winter.
Okay, but if it was the summer and I said I've got an aluminium car,
it's paint, not body metal.
We'll get to cars later. But about lots of the kid stuff, I think there's often not.
So German cars have a very hard paint, whereas a Japanese car have like very soft paint. So you need a lot more of a hard wearing coating almost on a Japanese car.
That's good. Okay, that's good. That's just a little tidbit there.
French cars.
Joel's car facts. We'll put that there.
French cars, man.
French cars.
It's like they're made of butter.
We were on miscarriage though. And so, as I said, we're going to try and avoid moralising. We're going to try and avoid saying this is the thing to do. But I think this is a really good example of one of those things where there is actually an empirical right thing to do. It might sound really obvious. It might not be obvious. And if there's just one person who watches this and knows that this isn't obvious, and now they think it is obvious, that's fantastic. So mission accomplished. Before 12 weeks, you must talk to your partner and ask them what their opinion is of who you would like to tell and when you would like to tell them. I think that you must be in complete agreement with what you're saying and to who you're saying it before you get to the safe zone. And the safe zone broadly is past 12 weeks. You've had your scan, you've had your blood test, everything is okay. So as an example, my wife and I, we wanted to tell a close group of friends quite early because if you don't know, very early on in the pregnancy, even if you're super healthy, super young, super good, there is a reasonable chance that you might miscarry, and a miscarry means you're going to lose the baby.
It's 1 in 3, 1 in 4, something, isn't it?
So it's quite high. Yeah. It's difficult to estimate.
And it's not even necessarily a miscarriage as such. It's the fact that it's not a viable fetus.
It just might not take. So
like,
miscarry is an umbrella term for
something that's happened to an egg, but it's not really sat there, right? But you show all the signs of pregnancy, and you will give a positive pregnancy test because your body is making the hormones, but you're not actually pregnant.
Yeah, it's not. So we wanted to share that before 12 weeks with friends and things, because if for whatever reason that didn't carry on, I wanted to be able to say, hey Joel, I'm sad about this. My wife wanted to be able to talk to her friends and go, no, that really sucks that I was sick for 8 weeks and now I've got to do it again and it's bad. And just to try and normalise the idea of miscarriages are quite a common thing that happens.
Yeah, I think that...
Because you were quite surprised when I told you quite early, right?
Yeah, I did go early because we had it with before we had our first child. We had a pregnancy where it wasn't. I wouldn't even call it a miscarriage. It was a pregnancy didn't take, but we thought we were pregnant, and we told my mum. And then you tell them that it turns out not actually pregnant, and then it's really sad for everybody. And so I think that the second time we didn't tell anyone until we'd done the 12-week scan.
Yeah,
because we'd been through that of going, hey everybody, look, we're pregnant. You know how we said we were pregnant, we're not actually pregnant.
But would you have been sad if I'd have come to you and gone, actually it's not worked out for us? Like, would that have affected you more negatively than the positive effects of like you being able to support me through that?
No, sure, but I mean I don't know, I don't think I have a single answer to that, but I mean I think that it depends on how many people you tell. I think there's a difference between telling 1 or 2 people. I think we only told 2 or 3 people. But then you still have to go back and go, guess
sure.
what?
But I think,
and so the second time we didn't do it, and I think that it is really important that I don't think we realised how common it was. So I think that
that's kind of the point.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like I think that it should be made more common. Is that when you get the pregnancy test, it should say even if it shows that this is pregnant, there's a 1 in 4 chance you're not actually pregnant. Probably don't tell anybody yet.
To be clear, there's a 1 in 4 chance you are showing the hormone signs of pregnancy, and there's an early stage pregnancy. But what you mean by that is it might not be a viable pregnancy, which can carry to term.
Exactly. Yeah.
For a bunch of stuff. Just want to be very clear that if you have a pregnancy test and it comes up positive, you are technically producing pregnancy hormones.
Sure, exactly, and that's all it means.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the issue that we had, where it was never going to be. It wasn't like it was a baby that died, which is like a miscarriage is what you think. It's like, I'm 30 weeks pregnant and the baby died, right?
There's something with hair that died.
It's not. It's like the thing that caused the pregnancy hormones was never a fetus.
Yeah,
and it just passed through, like as you would do. So I wasn't prepared for that. And we weren't prepared for that, so we were like, oh shit, we're pregnant, amazing, let's tell our mums and let's tell our dads and let's do all this and pick the dates. Oh look, it's due on this day. That's amazing. And I think the second time we got pregnant, where it was a viable fetus, I think that there's a lot more restraint. It was in like, okay, and that's where the nerves come from for those scans, where you go, okay, well let's wait for the scans. And we did what you did. We had an early scan because of what happened before, so we were nervous, so we went at about 8 weeks as well. And you have those early scans and you get, okay, there's a heartbeat, which we never had the first time. So okay, there's a heartbeat, there's this, it's that, and then you can start going, okay, well we'll tell people at 12 weeks.
I think we were the opposite. I think we were very aware of the possibilities for that happening. We were checking the miscarriage calculators on a week by week basis, probably too aware, and that's where a lot of the anxiety came from.
Sure.
But the final point, I think, just to kind of reiterate on this, is that talk to your partner. If you are very early stage pregnant, you've just found out, you're on YouTube, you're having a Google for new dad advice. That's the one piece of advice. Make sure you are in sync. So no matter what the answer is, whether it's wait till 12 weeks or whether it's tell early people at 8 weeks, as long as you're in sync, you're going to be okay. You're going to be supporting each other.
And I think you have to just be prepared for it as well. Because
be prepared.
I think if you go all in and name the fetus at 3 weeks, then there's a real chance you're going to be super devastated, as opposed to going, well, let's wait this out. Let's only get excited when we get to 12 weeks. And I think that's how you have to take it.
Yeah, so as I say, we just had our 12-week scan just a couple of days ago, and I just bought my first children's books to read to them. So that's my definition of excitement.
Yeah, so I'm now prepared to spend money on this thing.
Yeah, I'm prepared to spend cash.
It's Pro Day. Noob Day. It's Pro Day. Noob Day.
Results may vary, and comparing to the schools may go down as well as up. Seek professional advice.